Hi friends. So in this lecture we will be focusing on the next major topic in macroeconomics, which is money. See, this word will be extremely familiar to you, right? Because it is something we use to buy anything. I know you are not small kids, so you will be buying notebooks, you will be buying books, you will be paying your fees with money, or you will be buying phones or laptops or whatever be you want. Whatever you want, you will be buying with money. There is also another aspect of money, which is your parents will be getting remuneration for their occupation in the form of money, right? If your parents are working in some organization, they will be paid salary, which will be also in the form of money. Any business person will also get his or her remuneration or profit in the form of money. But from accounting, you will be knowing that not all the profit, the entire profit will not be received by the person in the current year. Some of it might be credit transactions, so the debtor is yet to pay money to us. But however be, whatever value is expressed as profit, it is denominated as money or in currency, which is a sub part of money. So all this tells you something, right? That it is very important for us to know the fundamentals of money since we are in the commerce field, right? So now let us go forth. First of all, in this session we will be dealing with the barter system. Second, we will deal about evolution of money. How did money evolve? Then we will deal with the meaning and functions of money. Then we will deal with money supply. What are the components of money supply and what are the measures of money supply? First of all, let's focus on barter system. Okay, actually, this was the system which was practiced in ancient times. Okay, let's see what it is. Meaning and features of barter system. The first feature is the C2C system. Okay, actually, in the barter system, what happened is people exchange goods for goods, one commodity for another. Okay, if a person is a seller of shoes, he or she will exchange shoes and buy something else like food grains. Okay, and since both the parties in the transactions are selling as well as buying, if a person is selling something, he needs to buy something as well. So there is no clear distinction between seller and buyer. And hence it is called a consumer to consumer system as well. So it is a C2C system in two forms, consumer to consumer and commodity to commodity. Then the next feature is searching cost. See, it is the cost of searching for the right person or one with whom to transact. It should be someone who is willing to buy our good or what we want to sell and is ready to sell whatever we want. Only with that person we can transact. Okay. Then there is the feature of this utility of waiting. What is it? It is the time and effort needed in the searching period. See, whenever you are searching, going on searching for a person, you are incurring that much searching cost, right? The searching cost also increases over time. And what happens? You are wasting that much time, valuable time. Time and tide is precious. So, this is the disutility of waiting. Now, let us go to the disadvantages. We can't tell what are the advantages. Do you know why? Because the system was not proper. Okay, might be there was an advantage because something is better than nothing, but that can't be said as an advantage. Now let us discuss the disadvantages of barter system. The first is the lack of double coincidence of wants. See, any person will be able to sell his good only if he finds a person, another person who is willing to, who wishes to buy his good and is also willing to sell whatever good he needs. Otherwise no transaction will take place. Okay, then the second one is lack of divisibility. See, most commodities which were used for trade could not be divided into smaller parts. Okay, see, let us say a person is a cattle trader, okay, and he wants to buy food grains. Okay, now the person needs, suppose, say 10 kg of food grains, and he is willing to sell his cattle only for 20 kg. Okay, means the person is willing to sell his cattle only for 20 kg, but a food supplier of food grains is ready to sell only 10 kg. So if this cattle trader wants to buy 10 kg, then he will have to split his cattle into two. Can it be done? Can you split a living animal into two? Never. So this is a problem of lack of divisibility. Then there's difficulty to store value. Many of the goods which were used were perishable in nature, and so they could not be stored over time, and they could not be used whenever need arises in the future. Then the last disadvantage is the lack of standard of deferred payment or unit of account. See, if you have to do credit transactions, there should be some yardstick on which we can measure the value to be paid in future. Since that was not existent, all the transactions were spot transaction. This was another main disadvantage. Now let us see how money evolved. Okay, the stages of evolution of money. There are actually four stages. Actually, the first, initially there was commodity money, the exchange which happened in barter system. We already know that. Many goods were used like tobacco, cow, cattle, many things. Then we came to metallic money. People realized the disadvantage of barter system and they moved to metals, primarily gold and silver. Why were gold and silver used for these transactions? They were durable. They were divisible. A piece of gold could be divided, and they were limited in supply and therefore they were precious. However, there were drawbacks because the supply of gold and silver became inadequate to meet the demand, and there was lack of safety. These could be stolen at any time during transportation, and there was inconvenience to deal with large transactions. Okay, then we came to paper money. This is what we use commonly nowadays. It is currency notes and coins used in the country. Okay, because large volumes of trade means that we need more standardized methods. Then the latest advancement is bank or credit money. See, this includes checks, credit cards, many other things. The main advantage here is that it reduces the risk. It is durable and it's a convenient form of money. You don't need to carry this much a suitcase full of cash. You just need to carry a card with which you can swipe and do any transaction. So this is how money has evolved. Now let us look at the meaning and functions of money. First of all, what is the meaning of money? Money is something which is freely used and generally accepted as a medium of exchange and or as a unit of account. It has primary and secondary functions. It is something which is used freely. Everybody is using and everybody recognizes this as a medium of exchange. We will see what is medium of exchange later, and a unit of account. Okay, these are the two main functions performed by money. Now let us look at the primary functions of money. The first is the medium of exchange. Okay, the main function of money is this. By this function, what happens is money splits the transactions into two, sale and purchase. Now what happens is, if a trader wants to sell shoes, he will be able to sell his shoes for money, and with the money he earns, he can buy whatever he wants. Say he needs food grains, he will be able to buy food grains with money. Now the next thing is measure of value or unit of account. See, earlier when there was, let's take the earlier example of cattle and food grains. See, you can't clearly say with proof that one cattle equals 20 kilos of food grains. But if you are measuring each good against money, there is a common denomination to measure each and every good, right? And so therefore, we will know the money. We can express the value of each good in the terms of money. This expression is called the price of the good. When we know the price of different goods, we can find out the exchange ratio. Let's say in the earlier example, suppose 20 kg of food grains cost rupees 2000 and the cattle cost rupees 4000, then it is evident that 40 kg of food grains cost can earn you one cattle. So this can facilitate ordered and proper commodity exchange. Now let's look at the secondary functions of money. First is the store of value. According to this, money can be conveniently stored, and wealth of a person can be stored easily in the form of money. And also, since it is generally accepted, its value does not diminish over time. So we can make savings nowadays from what we earn, and whenever need arises in future, we may be able to use that. Then next function is the transfer of value. See, with money, the purchasing power, whenever you pay one person, you are transferring him, you are giving him some purchasing power. With this power, he can buy whatever he needs. Okay, that is purchasing power. The ability to buy whatever we want is purchasing power. Okay, so with money, purchasing power can be transferred easily because money is generally accepted, and money brings in efficiency and quickness to the process of transfer of value. Then the third function is the standard of deferred payment. See, this relates to credit transactions. I have already mentioned that with money, the credit transactions are facilitated because the debtor and the creditor both will know what he is to pay and what he is to receive. So this is basically because of general acceptability, stable value, and durability of money. Now let us focus on the components and measures of money supply. What is money supply? Basically, what is money supply? The supply of money, right? Actually, money supply refers to the stock of money held by the public at a particular point of time, stock variable, and hence it is measured at a particular point of time in the economy. Public, it means individuals and business firms, and it does not include the banking system, the central bank, as well as the government. Whatever money is owned by the people, but that doesn't mean that when you are depositing money into the bank, that money will get excluded from money supply because you are owning that money. The bank does not own that money. However, if the bank is keeping a portion of money as reserve, that money is actually owned by the bank and it will not be included in money supply. Now the components of money supply. First, currency component and deposit component. Currency component has two parts. The first is coins. They are made of metals and are issued by the government. They get value because they are issued by the government. the metals which are used to make these coins have very insignificant value when compared to the amount printed. But the coins are valuable equivalent to the amount printed on them. Why? Because they are legal tender. They are issued by the government, and the government says, I promise to the bearer of this instrument or this coin this much amount. Okay, it is more profoundly seen in coins. Whenever you see in a coin, it will be given, I promise to pay the bearer rupees somehow something. The next component is, of course, paper notes. Currency notes are issued by the monetary authority. Generally, in order to issue currency note, the central bank will have to keep a minimum reserve of gold or foreign securities. But if this minimum reserve is available, the central bank can issue any amount of currency. In India, the Reserve Bank of India issues currency notes. However, rupee 1 notes, which are less common nowadays, rupee 1 notes are issued by the Ministry of Finance under the Government of India. Then the component of deposits. Basically, these include demand deposits. There, of course, a few components of money supply also include time deposits. We will discuss it later. Demand deposits are currency deposits or money deposits made by the depositor into the bank. And what happens here is the bank honors a commitment that it will pay the any person as instructed by the depositor whenever such a person demands it. If I am instructing the bank to pay you rupees 1000 whenever you need, you can go and approach the bank for the rupees 1000 whenever need arises for you. These are the components of money supply. Now let us look at the measures of money supply. The first measure is M1 or the narrow money. It includes currency plus net demand deposits of banks plus other deposits generally of quasi-government organizations like IDBI or IMF, which deposits are made with the Reserve Bank of India. This is the first M1. Next, M2. M2 is also a form of narrow money. Besides all components of M1, M2 includes savings of people with post offices. Then we are coming to M3, which is also called broad money. It is M1 plus net time deposits with commercial banks. Okay, here we are including time deposits like fixed deposits or such things. This measure of M3 is also called the aggregate of monetary resources of the country. Now let us look at M4. The final measure is M3. All components of M3 plus savings of people with post offices. However, this does not include National Savings Certificate, which is a scheme provided by the post offices. Okay, these are the four measures of money supply. Now let us quickly summarize. First, we saw the barter system. What are its features and why it was faulty, or what are the limitations. Next, we discuss how money evolved, the various stages of evolution of money. Then we discuss the meaning of money and its functions, primary functions as well as secondary functions. Then we discuss money supply, its components as well as its measures. So that will be with our discussion of money. We will meet again in the next topic of macroeconomics. So till then, stay safe. Thank you.